That's about it. Yes, I can tell you.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us. You're coming to us live from Burma Camp. What's happening there right now? What can you report?
Yes, absolutely. If you know the senior executive event laundry center, it's about 100 meters away from the Burma Camp traffic light on your way towards the Amoy Junction or the state site. Now, group of people, their numbers, over 50 at the event center, and the allegation is that they have been come here and bits of their voter ID card are being taken with laptop reports of some 3 individuals allegedly, supposedly doing a transfer for them. Now, the police have arrested and then they're still doing a arrest now. About 15 people have been taken to the cantonment police station. Now, another batch of people been arrested, put into capture belonging to the security services, and they are taking these people to the cantonment police station. Now, the issue is the fact that these people have come all over part of the Great Accra and also the institution. That is the home area, some from Swede Group and some from there is one side who are contraring their vote. These are allegations actually. It is caused people, these people have been in custody, and the police or the security services have come in. Now, all of them actually have been arrested now, and then they are being taken to the cantonment police station. In speaking with some of them, what they say is that they were only being told why they brought them here. They were only told that they were going to vote, and they ended up at the event center at Senior over here. They do not even understand what actually is going on. Some are saying, but it does appear that there's some mishap, and these people have been taken. As I speak with you, the ring leader supposedly has been put into the police pickup truck, and they have been taken to the cantonment police station. There's scores of people who are here, but just like I did say a short while ago, these remain allegations yet to be given approval. But you could see a lot of them have their voter ID cards, and there's a booklet where details of them are captured, and then a laptop supposedly where a transfer is based on. The veracity of this unable to do. But as we speak, police have taken over control of the police services have taken over control of the station. They have arrested them and they're taking them to the police station.
Wow. Thank you, Komla, for bringing us that report. Unfortunately, the connection wasn't so great, and so we missed some of the things you said. But if we heard you clearly, you're saying that several people have been arrested at a Zina Luxury Event Center around Burma Camp on suspicion of having their votes being transferred today. It is unclear what their crime is, clearly from what you said, but there's heavy police presence there, and they are trying to ascertain exactly what's happening. But from what you said, if I heard you clearly, they had a laptop and they are purporting to transfer votes today.
Absolutely, that's what the situation is. These people carry a laptop. There's one laptop which is doing the decimal.
Okay.
Decimal behind the laptop.
Okay.
Doing the, but they are capturing their details in a booklet.
And did you say 50 people? Did you say 50 people?
Say that they were asked to come to the place, and then they were not really told why they were brought to place.
All right. Unfortunately, the sound isn't so great, so we're going to have to circle back. But thank you for bringing us that report. We'll continue to follow this update very closely and make sure that you know all that there is to know about happenings at Burma Camp right now. But we're going to cross over now to the polling station now. The polling station where the former president Mahama is going to be casting his vote. This is the Bole constituency. Yes, that's his constituency, the Bole constituency. He has just arrived now. We saw him earlier. He hadn't stepped out of his vehicle. He was out visiting the graveside of his father earlier this morning. And now he's made his way to the polling station where he's going to cast his vote. He has just arrived now. If you're listening to us on radio, we see him arrive in an SUV. He's yet to step out of the vehicle. Some of his security personnel are out of the vehicle. They're having conversations. We don't have sound right now, but from what we see, they're having conversations before he comes out of his vehicle. We see some other security people waiting outside the vehicle for the former president to step out. We saw earlier the former First Lady, Lordina Mahama, cast her vote, also dressed in a white outfit. We have seen Dr. Baumia, the vice president, as well as the presidential candidate for the MPP, cast his vote. We have seen the president, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, cast his vote. And now the former president and presidential aspirant for the NDC, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has now stepped out of his vehicle to cast his vote. And earlier, when we were bringing you the visuals, we said that, you know, it was very quiet, but now we see some excitement, yes. We see some excitement. We see people pulling out their phones to capture some, you know, pictures and videos of him as he makes his way to cast his vote. His security, and is that his daughter? Yes. I believe that's his daughter he has arrived with to cast his vote, also wearing a white outfit as he gets closer to cast his vote. So he's at a table now. Presidential or parliamentary, we cannot tell from the visuals we see, but we know that he's about to do one of them. Yes, he's about to do one of them. His demeanor is generally very calm, you know. He has had, I think, a morning of introspection from the visuals we saw from the graveside earlier. So his demeanor is still very calm. He's donning a white baseball cap with the flag of Ghana on the side. Yes. Yes, all right. So he's in front of the electoral officer there, who seems very serious, you know, doing his job. All right. And I think his finger is in the ink now. All right. They're wiping his finger. Yes, of course, after they dip your finger in the ink, they wipe it off a bit. And we see a lot of cameras crossing our cameras, but it's expected. Everybody is sort of excited to see him arrive and excited to see him cast his vote. So he's doing that now. He's casting his vote. He's casting his vote. He's in one of the boxes now. I think you do the parliamentary before the presidential. Is that right, Prof? You do the presidential before parliamentary. All right. So he's voting. Earlier, when Dr. Baumia was voting, there was a funny comment about who he might be voting for. So we have former President Mahama also voting. I suppose we know who he's voting for. All right. Oh no, his daughter seems to. All right, that should not be happening. All right, that should not be happening. I believe you should be in the box by yourself, at least by the regulations that we have been told. Your ballot should be a secret ballot, and you should be there by yourself. So, yeah, I think someone is prompting her, right, to step aside now, because earlier she seemed to hold out her phone, but, well, she's been prompted, right? Yes, yeah, that should not be the case. But anyway, we see here, yeah, we see him completing the process. He's going on to vote for the parliamentary candidates now. Similar process. Similar process there. All right. I believe when you arrive at the table, the officers explain to you what you should do. So yes, that's what's happening now. That's what's happening now. And you know, Roland, I think it's interesting and common. I mean, from watching our politicians vote over the years, that they would arrive in all white. It's a sign of victory, isn't it?
Well, certainly. Even though it's over the years, it's also been an activity and a fashion that seemed to have now become very famous, as introduced by former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta.
Oh, he was the first to do it?
I think he made it very fashionable.
Okay, okay. Jerry Rawlings used to do that as well?
Rawlings during his period will wear usually a white shirt and a batakari.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
He usually would do that, yeah, for many of the times. And he always loved many of the times the media he will have to wait for a lot of the times, get the media around, and he will walk majestically. I remember in the year 2000 when he was voting in what is now the Ayawaso West Wogon constituency, still then at the time. He'll wait. And he also happens to be voting at the time in the same constituency with former President John Ejekom Kufuor. But John Dramani Mahama, a man who became a distinguished politician subsequently, rose through the ranks. So has been an assembly member, a member of parliament, a deputy minister, a minister, a vice president, and a president.
Now, earlier, we saw President Mahama by his father's graveside, and people have asked why he chose today to do so. But Mr. Frimpong, you know, I mean, about these things and the former president, his relationship with his father, and so on. What can you tell us about that?
Thank you very much. There are interesting anecdotes about the two leading presidential candidates and their fathers. Mahama's father wanted to go to Parliament in 1951. But at that time, it was the chiefs in the north who chose
the candidates.
Chose the candidates. It was an electoral college sort of. They needed 19 members, and there was a tie on the 19th position between Mahama's father, who was a teacher, and a chief.
Interesting.
Then the regional commissioner had a casting vote, and he voted for the chief. So that was how Mahama's father didn't go in 51.
Because someone chose somebody else.
Yes,
I see.
It was a casting vote. And
interesting.
He rather went from 54. On the other hand, Baumia's father at that time was the secretary to the North-East Territorial Council, so he did not contest.
Okay.
But along the line, there was a by-election, and that was how he got in.
Right. Well, thank you for bringing us that very interesting story. And I look forward to hearing more interesting stories like this from you, Mr. Frimpong.
That is what I do.
Yes, I mean, history is good to know because it helps us understand where we have come from and where we are going. And, you know, our present circumstances has a lot to do with things that have happened in the past. We've been on your television, on radio and online since 6 a.m. this morning, bringing you a comprehensive coverage of today's elections. We're going to be running for 24 hours, starting today until the final results are declared. And so we encourage you to please stick with us.